Wubba-lubba-dub-dub! I was shopping and couldn't resist another t-shirt. This is Rick. From Rick and Morty. I'm gonna try this different setup today. My camera was kind of showing stuff I don't know. This just looks cool. And usually I don't take up the full height of the screen. It's a good show. I maybe shouldn't drink out of a clear mug because then you can see how just like light my coffee is. Rephrase. Look at how light my coffee is. I don't like it that strong. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Nicole. I'm a little behind on the seasonal earth style because I know I said on my last video that like September, it's kind of the cutoff, right? But then my friend Daydream Stitcher. What's her name? Oh, it's on the tip of my mind. Yeah, her. Daydream Stitcher, she was saying, no, in Florida, summer is through September. Whoops. I'm gonna do my best not to bump the camera so much. So here we are on our seasonal earth. Sal. Need to get through the rest of summer. So I'm going to be working on that sun with the blue out, or with the blue around it. Okay, we're going to skip this one because it sounds exactly the same as the other one. How is your morning? Oops, this is the wrong one. What a good start, huh? I went to Washington, D.C. yesterday. Fall doesn't begin until Halloween. Where I'm from in North Dakota, Halloween started, it was always snowing on Halloween. Almost always. Hey, Lindsay. We haven't chatted in a while. We should continue to chat. I promise there's not very many white stitches, so you don't have to see me stitch white on white. Oh, I think there was a reason I stopped gridding like this. I think it was just too dark. I was gridding this morning and I was like, I don't think I gridded like this before. Boy, I've been working on my barnyard animals start for the last 3 days, and now these stitches are enormous. I'm so used to 40 count. Well, I'm not like used to it, but my eyes are like, wow, this is a breeze. Hey, this setup isn't bad. Hey, Liz. Hey, Erin. Good morning. Happy to see all of you. I am gonna ride this day off tomorrow. I'm so happy to have a day off. And I only worked 5 days last week. Maybe I should explain a little bit about like what my schedule is like. It's actually very nice. I'm glad for the schedule that they gave me. Lindsay, do it. You know, the diagonal stitching, I feel like is on 40 count, it's very tedious. But I've been working, here, let me show you. I've been working pretty cross country on this one. Whoop. What's happening? There we go. I've been working cross country on this one and like not stitching diagonally. I'm going across the top. And it's really fun because you get progress really quickly because you're not constantly switching colors. And I think as long as you're using Pattern Keeper, it's pretty easy to know where your stitches are. And your eyes get used to it too. But don't take my advice until I get further down the project. Leanne, good morning. We've had quite the morning already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay! Liz, thanks for watching. What are you stitching on? I do these streams every Sunday. I think Michelle Bendy is going live a little later today. I think that's what she said in her floss tube. So we don't have to worry. Oh, that's why your comment was funny. Yeah, I woke up to the funny word. Oh, true. I forgot about that. For you it might be easier to do diagonal stitching. And you know what? I love the process of diagonal stitching because then I know I'm not going to miss a stitch. And actually it's probably good that I'm doing that on the sunset piece because it's paper, which I love. I kind of like working on paper. It's kind of like, it's pretty fun. Hey, how embarrassing. She heard me. Daydream Stitcher, I forgot your name for like, I still forgot your name. There's too many people. It's, you know why? It's because I haven't watched video yet. Charting Creations. Oh, awesome. I haven't looked at their patterns very much. Mary, right? I remember it. Hey, Zan. Oh, I was about to tell my school schedule. Thank you for keeping me on track. So, I didn't make the schedule, and if I would have made it, I would not have created a block schedule for junior high students. So the kids have like roughly 70-minute classes, which, you know, yes, woohoo. I don't, yeah, I don't know. I just think 70 minutes is a long time for students to try to focus. You know, and of course the teachers adapt. We create brain breaks, we create stretch breaks, We give them mask breaks as well because they're required to wear a mask. And so, I mean, hopefully they'll get used to it, but the first week is a little. It was a weird week. I guess I talked about this in my surprise stream on Friday, but I can talk about it again. The first 2 days we had early out schedule. Hey Ashley, because of the heat, so we had to get out at noon instead of the regular 2:50. And then I did these already? Okay. "70 minutes, yeah, for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. The 8th graders are pretty good with it, but the 7th graders it's a long time. Yeah. So I see them for 70 minutes, and then they switch. How do I want to do this? I think I want to do that one next. Yeah, the school day goes from 8 a.m. to 2:50 p.m. But the nice thing about my schedule is that I have a first period I have like planning with the other music teacher at the school, which is really nice to just be able to have a colleague to bounce ideas off, whether it be music ideas or, classroom management ideas, or like getting kids involved. And then I do have a planning period as well. Yeah. It's really, on Friday I was like, well, and I learned this when I first started teaching, but I've had to remind myself many, many times this week that, anything considered misbehavior or something that is against the rules or procedures, it's not personal. And also if they interrupt me, it's not personal, obviously. Not like excusing the fact that they're interrupting a teacher, because, they have to learn that, when a teacher's talking, then you're paying attention. But I had to teach myself that very, very quickly when I started teaching, because I would just be like, they hate me, they keep interrupting me. No, it's not you. I can't even do 70-minute meetings. It's true. It's true. I feel for the kiddos. They're like, and plus the coming back to school. That's a tough transition. And these 7th graders, if they didn't come back to school in the spring after virtual in April or May, I'm not quite sure when this district came back, but if they didn't, if their attendance was bad before, then it's like they haven't been in school since 5th grade, and they probably were in one classroom in 5th grade, so it's a hard transition. Really hard. Oh, yeah. They let out early, Mary, because my school and some schools in Baltimore City don't have air conditioning in all of the rooms in the school. So my room does not have air conditioning, and I have fans, but it's hot. It gets really hot. And with masks, it's also adds an element of, why did I make such a long, well, okay, I guess when we're done with this one, we're done with it. Yeah. I try not to get too political on this channel, but the governor of Maryland put out a statement that was like, school being let out early because there's no air conditioning is really bad or something. And it's like, you make the decisions for funding, or you're involved in the decisions, so help us out maybe. Do they make... I think there are, like, makeup days. I'm not quite sure how that works yet. I'm sure I'll find out at the end of the year when I have to tell the kids that we're coming back to school because we missed right at the beginning. Although, well, and this is not a guarantee, but I know some districts, they have like storm days built into the schedule, and then if you don't need to use them, then you just don't. Oh, don't look at the pattern. That was not very many stitches for... I should have done a shorter thing, but oh well. Yeah. See, and that's like, that's how it's been good for me to like go through this and be like, it puts it into perspective, like the expectations we have on our adults, on our students, on our families. It's like there's so many factors that could cause something to not be able to function very well. Function according to American society. Yeah. Yeah, so it's been so the first two days I only saw one class because they had us see our first period and third period the first day. And first period, I have the meeting with the other teacher. And then Tuesday, we saw first, second, and third. And second is my planning period. So I was only seeing one class on Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we had early out because of the hurricane weather coming in. And so we saw first, fourth, and fifth. So the first time I see my bigger classes, it was a short day. So it was pretty energetic in my room that day. What number am I looking for? 977. So it would be nice to just let the kids have more water. I agree with you, Zan. But there's, if you let them all go at the same time, then the hall monitors are like, no, let them go no more than 5 at a time. And not all of them carry their own water bottles with them. So it's like, how are these kids staying hydrated? Yeah, they it's gonna be a fun year. So, with the block schedule, since they have 70-minute classes, 5 days a week, then next quarter, in 8 weeks, I don't see them anymore. They have different classes. So they might have, they have 5 classes a day. Oh, thank you, Mary. I was very excited that he asked me to do that. He's asked me before, but this time he was like, I need 3 songs. And I was like, yes, you do. Oh, nice, Zan. Yeah, the kids, they change classes every quarter. So in 8 weeks, technically the quarter is 9 weeks, but in 8 weeks I'll see a different group of kids. Chessie, the Chessie song took me like a minute. And then I worked a little bit harder on the Deck the Halls and Fruits of Plenty. Which confirmed it's fruits. Fruits of Plenty. Oh, sorry. This is a good ASMR piece. The thread is very loud going through the fabric. Also my Iowa piece. I was stitching in the car yesterday on Iowa. Hey, Vanessa. Good morning. I guess it's not very, Delaware! Delaware? Wait, you're closer now. We were just talking about how to get to Delaware. Not in the stream, but yesterday. With my family. Dylan's family. We went to Washington, D.C., and then they were telling us about where they like to go. And there's a beach in Delaware. Delaware? Wasn't there a children's song that was like, oh, what to Delaware, oh, what to Delaware? Must have been on one of my tapes that I listened to. I used to listen to tapes like nonstop. I didn't have TV, so I just, found other ways to entertain myself. It's how I know how to say she sells seashells on the seashore. The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. So if she sells seashells on the seashore, I'm sure she sells seashore shells. Good. That's what the lady would say. She'd be like, can you say this with me? A skunk sat on a stump. The skunk thinked the stump stunk. But the stump thunk, the skunk stunk. I can believe that I remember that. Isn't the child's brain amazing? Like, how can they remember so much? And how can I, as an adult, have such a hard time remembering things? I mean, bless you. The answer is obvious, right? Like, our brain is developing, and as it's developing, it can absorb a lot more information. And then once you hit like 23? Then it's like, now you're gonna have a hard time remembering stuff. Mary, I have not really checked out any LNSs yet. I've gone to Michael's, but I've looked them up, so there are a couple that I've seen. Bless you. That's funny. I think I've talked about this before, but I took Russian diction in my master's, and our teacher had us doing Russian tongue twisters. I should find those and see what Anastasia thinks of them. Yeah. Music is pretty incredible. Especially music therapy. It's such an interesting profession, music therapy, because a music therapist tries to select songs that the patient knows or that the patient would remember. And I learned about this in my undergrad. We had a music therapy program, and then they cut the program. So dumb. Oops. But they talked about, really getting to know the patient, obviously, so that if you're thinking of a song to choose to play for the patient, that you choose one that they know. Because you could choose wrong. Like, you could choose a song that triggers something different. Like, doesn't trigger happiness. So you might, like, if you're playing a song on the guitar for them, I guess that's the same for everyone. Like, music affects our lives so much. I was listening to some of my students' favorite music. I asked them last week what their favorite music is. And so I created a playlist. And I'm gonna tell them this so I'm not too worried about sharing it on the internet, but some of their music is not school appropriate. So it's gonna be like I asked them to share their music because I want to pick music that they like to perform, but we might not be able to perform some of their favorite music. But then Dylan was listening to it with me, or some of it. He was like, oh, I don't really like this music right now, but I think if I was their age, I would have liked this music. So it's funny how our musical tastes change. Like, think about the music that you liked when you were a teenager. I know I don't like that music anymore. Maybe my students will still like it, but the music that they listen to now. But if I hear a song that used to play on the radio when I was on the bus, I could sing it word for word. We listen to country on the bus. Should see if I can try to keep this a little more still. I feel like when I was first starting to do these lives, I was like really conscious about moving my fabric, and now I'm just like all over the place. This is Ymir's floss, this yellow. It's so bright. I love it. Yeah. And, some of it might be picking up on really small details. Like if they mention a song, or their family mentions a song, or you see a shirt that they were wearing 2 weeks ago, and you learn a song from that band, Because I feel like, especially in in the 90s and 2000s was when merch really became a big thing. So like a concert that you went to, you would buy a t-shirt at. Yeah. I try to not assume what musical tastes there are, and also I try to be open to listening to different musical tastes. Especially music of different cultures. Yeah. I shouldn't have done that. Oh well. I'm not doing a very good job at keeping this still like I said I wanted to. Whoa, this is an intense song. Hammer dulcimer. Yeah. Especially when you think about music as a cultural thing. Like, you might have listened to a certain kind of music because it's what your friends were listening to. Dylan told a story yesterday about when he was in first grade. They were doing a poll, and they were like, who should be on our Got Milk poster? Who do you want to be on the poster? And his sisters were listening to Britney Spears, so he was like, oh, Britney Spears is a really cool artist. So he voted for Britney Spears as a first grader. And then the other kids were like, what? You like Britney Spears? And he was like, yeah, she's really cool. When Britney Spears was a teenage girl thing, you know? But Dylan thought that she was cool because that's what his sisters were listening to. My scroll frame. It's good. It's not like it's not like the most expensive thing out there. So it's not like super tight. I suppose storing it like that doesn't help, but I do like it. I do like having access to the whole piece, because I'm doing this left to right, top to bottom. So it's really nice being able to access the whole piece. And I discovered this, y'all. My desk is like an L shape, and so if I put it right here, I can stick my arm up to the back in the corner of the L, and then I can stitch two-handed, either hand. So I like it. Progress is quite quick on it because I'm not obsessing too much over it. ABBA's great. I like ABBA. You are the dancing queen. I think eventually I would like to try the scroll frame with the stretcher bars. I think Leonie has some of those, right? I think that's what Teresa Little Stitcher uses. I mentioned that because I was watching her video yesterday. She's such a cool lady. I like Teresa. Teresa, she says. What am I doing here? Oh, this. You know when something's a pattern and then you just have to make sure that you're doing it right? Oh! This one's kind of weird. Oh well. I didn't make the pattern. Is it my fault? Omanic. Yeah, I do too. Also, just her Teresa has isms, like people, saying people. And she says, needle needs. I lucked out, Erin. The scroll frame that I bought is just wide enough for my piece. So I have like a 2-inch margin, and I'll have a 2-inch margin on this side, and that's the width of the piece. So I got really, excuse me, I got really lucky. My BAP fits on it. My BAP on 40 count. Queen. I started a documentary last night that was about drummers, and they had what's his name, Roger somebody, the drummer of Queen. They interviewed him. The monkeys. Yeah, table stand seems great. I always like I was showing you how I put it on my desk. I always improvise. So actually right now this project is in a hoop, and I'm holding it with my old cell phone stand that I used to use, because now I got this light phone holder thing. So that holds my project up so I can stitch two-handed. I just love stitching two-handed. It's so fun. It's fast. I would like to stitch in hand and do the sewing method, but I think I need to find like needles that work better for that. Because the ones that I've used have not really been very good for that purpose. Yeah, it depends on how mobile you are in the moment. Because like it doesn't really work if you're in the car or anything. Hey! Hey Sam, look what piece I'm working on. Yeah, me too. I can find something that I like. Or I can appreciate why people listen to that kind of music. Yes, I want to. All unchanged for being a stitchy stuff girl. Yeah. Let's all go to South Africa. I agree. Okay, Lanny. Thanks for hanging out. And your advice on scroll frames. That'd be awesome. Is it expensive to fly there? Or visit? I'm catching up. I'm catching up. At the beginning of the month, I worked on this like really, really quickly, and then I started a project and I got distracted with other things. So I still need to catch up. Look at the sun! Isn't that pretty? A pretty sun. I got out my little scissors again. I like this thing. I think it's actually a yarn scissors, because I got it from a knitter shop. Oh, that was a bump. Excuse me. All right. We on to the blues. What number is that? 517. Probably gonna run out of this color. Oh, I better get some more. Because there's lots in the frog water area of this color. There's probably some in the winter section too. Oh, thank you, Aaron. This one is pretty easy to be neat because there's lots of just color completion. Yeah. Excuse me. Is there a lot? Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy this color again. Then I get to make a new bobbin, because right now it's on one of the homemade ones that my mom made. So this color is very old. Can't wait to see the dye lot on this one. And by saying that, I mean, I don't really care about dye lots. Like, that's out of my control. I can't control the difference in dye lots. Seasons change, right? It'd be very appropriate for the piece. I think we'll go here. We'll do this one. Hmm. Oh, I'm gonna do this way. I changed my mind at the last minute. Look, I've gotten a lot done today. We're only 51 minutes in. I sang for my family yesterday, and one of their native languages is German, and so I sang in German, and I got really inspired. I was like, wow, somebody really appreciates this, because like not very many people speak German here in the US. Here I start talking about Germany right after Leonie leaves. Leonie. I think that's how you say it. How do I decide? Wherever the wind blows, that's how I decide. I'm like, what do I want to work on? If I'm streaming and I know that I worked on a project, I worked on, so for example, today I wanted to keep working on my barnyard animals, and I probably will work on it today. It's kind of loud. But I worked on that on my stream on Friday, my surprise stream, so I was like, I can't work on it the same 2 streams in a row. And this one needs some love, so I just pulled it out. And yesterday I worked on Iowa as well because I was in the car. So I was like, well, I'll work on a piece that is portable. So usually I kind of just like get stuck on a project for a little while. Either that or I just can't decide what to work on and I work on like 3 things in a day. That's happened before. So today I was like, well, I kind of want to keep up with this one. And then it's really good that way because then I forget like how much I like working on the project. Because this is 16 count and I'm like, this is really easy to stitch on. Really easy. And then sometimes I might feel like doing 25 count. Or some diagonal stitching. Sweewee all the way. Stitch what you want when you want. I just hope that soon I can start finishing some big stuff, because I mean, I know that's not going to happen soon, but I have a lot more full coverage stuff I want to start. So I'm hoping that I can just get some stuff finished. Probably my closest project to being finished is the Moroccan sampler, because that one's, well, and Iowa, but I actually I haven't really finished a full like a big full coverage project. Like, I guess the closest thing would be that United States pattern or some of the individual states, but those are only like 11,000 stitches, which is not really my classification of full coverage. Yeah, that's a thing. Also deciding what to start is tough. I kind of like go with the flow, so I hadn't planned on starting my Manhattan Beach, But then Lindsay sent the pattern to me. She was like, hey, do you want to try this? And I was like, whoa, a stranger will send me, or a stranger who I haven't met in person, I guess. We're friends, but haven't met this person, is willing to send me a full chart of something. That's cool enough. And the pattern's beautiful. And also, Lindsay was inspiring me to try a different count fabric. So that was a unplanned start, I guess. And then Barnyard Animals, I hadn't planned on doing that one first. I was going to do my Randall Spangler piece first. And then the person who won my giveaway, Wendy, sent me a picture that she had started Barnyard Animals already. And I was like, I have to stitch along. So I started that one. I was going to do the Starry Night Cats first. So it's just like, for me, it's like being spontaneous. I'm not going to talk about it today, but I'll talk about it in my floss tube. Somebody sent me Happy Mail and a chart, and I was looking at it and I was like, I don't know if I want to stitch this. And then I had an idea of how to stitch it. So more power to you, Zan. Monogamous stitching, there's something to say about monogamous stitching. Like, you see progress way quicker on your projects, obviously. But that's super cool. Like, when I started my the black and white piece of my husband and that was the only project that I was working on. So I saw progress really fast. And now it's like going really, really slow because I have so many other projects started. I really admire people who are still monogamous stitchers. But I also really like the option of choosing something else. And I've just sort of accepted the fact that because I like full coverage so much that it's just going to be a long time. It's going to be a while on some projects. Look at how cool that looks. Oop, that was not right. Hey, Zoe. Yay, grocery delivery. Yeah. I feel also like if you like full coverage, it's really, for me, it might not work this way for you, but it's kind of refreshing to have a smaller project to work on. Like, sometimes I'm like, I just feel overwhelmed at how much I need to do on my big projects, that I don't feel like stitching on them. But I do kind of still feel like stitching. So I want a small thing. Yeah, true. I think I'm pretty good about like not impulse buying patterns. I gotta try to make sure that I really want to stitch it, but I bought quite a few in May after my band was up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I really like putting groceries away. Because I'm like, okay, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here. Chips go in my mouth. I'm ready to eat some chips. This is so soothing. Zooming on my project. Chatting with y'all. Having a chill day. Today I am going to make sure I have phone numbers for parent/guardian contacts. And I think I'm going to use my day off tomorrow to just call parents and be like, hey, I'm new here. I'm excited to teach your kid. I feel like I'm in a massage without the massage. I need to get a massage. I have a subscription to a massage place. And since I didn't go in the pandemic, I racked up a lot of credits. You also need to lesson plan, of course. The lesson plans that I've made for my classes, like, either I don't get through everything that I want to, or I just like have abandoned it because it's not working. I feel like that's half of the battle in teaching. Like, knowing when to stick with your lesson plan and knowing when to abandon it. What is your definition of full coverage? No fabric showing through once it's finished. Under this definition, my individual states and the seasons are full coverage. I agree with you, Lindsay. Full coverage means that there's no fabric showing. So technically this pattern is not full coverage because in the pattern the white areas are not supposed to be stitched. Let me rephrase that. In the stock photo, they're not stitched, but I am stitching the white parts. I'm filling in. So I have turned this into full coverage, and I agree with you. It's my states are full coverage because there's no fabric showing in the stitched area. So I guess what I mean by I guess I should have said, like, I don't feel like stitching on a big project. Or those can't travel. So my individual states, they are full coverage, but they are small projects and they can travel. But 12,000 stitches isn't that small. It's a lot of stitches. What is music class in middle school? Teaching beginning rhythms, note reading, singing, instruments, music history, appreciation. Yeah. Yeah. I am focusing on, Mary, in these first few weeks, I'm focusing on just getting their minds thinking about music. Again, if they've had a class before, and then just like experiencing rhythm. So I have this wonderful website, Music Play, that has lots of videos that are just like clapping rhythms or like echoing rhythms. And the website also has those videos in solfege form. So like they could echo a solfege pattern. And it also has activities like identifying rhythms, identifying solfege patterns, and getting them used to it. Now, I've not taught middle school choir, so I'm still navigating like how much to really get them to sing. I have found that they really enjoy echoing, and so I do like echo rhythms. So I clap a rhythm, they clap it back, ta ta ti ti ta, and then I add in some vocalizations, like I add in ooh, and they think it's silly, but they do respond to that. And I have tried using like kind of video game type music, like do 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 do, and I just mix those in with the rhythms. So traditional choral singing is pretty like rigid, and I don't want it to be for them. I just want it to be chill and smooth. And I'm doing some breathing exercises, but with the transitions, it's been slightly successful. Like they kind of lose interest a little bit after a while if it's like too advanced, you know. So I've been doing a lot of echoing, and I will next week I'll work rhythm in. So in the 70-minute period, we might sing 10 minutes, or we might do active singing 10 minutes. But I'm gonna have to work it up. But they really enjoy rhythms, because if you introduce something that they don't know, they can lose interest if it's feels too weird or feels too hard or whatever the case may be. So I'm trying to ease into it a little bit. Instruments with my English learners, I've been doing some instruments and just quizzes on the instruments, having them listen to it. Music history and appreciation, that's also that will be part of. It's interesting. Choir is kind of like there's no curriculum for it, so you kind of just like develop it as you go. And the music history / appreciation comes from like explaining what the song is about, if it's a song that we're singing, or like telling them where the artist is from or things like that. And when the kids come into my classroom, I have a song playing, and I usually tell them a little bit about it. Like I've been playing Angelique Kidjo. She's an amazing artist from Benin, Africa, and she uses a lot of African rhythms in her music. And she covered the full album Remain in Light by the Talking Heads and put her own spin on it. And it's so cool. I love that album. And then I played for them also a French artist called Stromae, and there's a video on TikTok of, it's the one where like everyone's just like hanging out, and then all of a sudden they go and the song is by that artist, but it's a remix. So I played the original for them, and I was like, do you know the song? And they were like, yeah, it's cool. So yeah, try to do a well-rounded. Okay, let me catch up on comments. Yeah, Lindsay, I don't think that this is full coverage. There's lots of white space in this pattern, especially in the winter area, like that bunny and those trees and the snow owl, and in the fall section too, like around the spider. I'm looking at the mock-up, that's why. Yeah, Zoe. For me, like things that I find cool, I like try to incorporate those, but if they're not connecting with it, they're not connecting with it, and they're going to find a reason to let me know, or they're going to let me know that they don't like it, or it's weird, or and so yeah, I'm going to have to work really hard to get a variety of things for them to do, because you can only do so much echoing, you can only do so much pulling teeth to try to get them to do something that they're just not comfortable or not used to doing. So like, because they have not chosen to be in my class, they've just been placed in my class by the schedule, I try to be like, okay, this is singing class, but I'm going to do my best to do other things in here. And also, if you're uncomfortable singing today, maybe you won't be uncomfortable tomorrow. I encourage you to, just try it. But feel free to lip sync. Let me see your mask moving so that it looks like you're singing. Maybe that's not the best thing to do, but I don't want to first of all, I don't want to make them uncomfortable singing, because once they feel uncomfortable, they don't want to sing. And I don't want to have that. I want them to want to sing, or just be open to trying it, Yeah, it's for my school, it's a resource class. So they get like a math, a science, a social studies, and then a resource or two. So depending on what class they're placed in, it's in their schedule, and they don't get to choose, in junior high at least. And in high school, they probably do. Boy, I haven't stitched in like a couple minutes. You got me excited to talk about teaching, Mary. How I structure my classes. Yeah, so they don't get to choose. It's just in their schedule for them. Which is why it's not about, for me. If it's about content for somebody else, then that's great, if they find a successful way. But for me, it's not about getting them to sing. It's about just encouraging them to find something that they like in the class or in music. Like, that's why I'm going to try to play a variety of songs for them as they're walking in the class. I'm going to try to do a variety of activities. And also, I adapt the activities. Like, if I'm doing a clapping, echo clapping, and they're just like, I don't want to clap along, I've told them, you can think it. As if I'm clapping a rhythm to get your attention and you don't want to clap, just think it and give me your eyes, because I'm about to give some instruction. And usually they're chill with that. Like, they understand, I have a job to do. Yeah. Yeah. The more comfortable they feel. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. It's hard though. Like, I really feel for the content teachers who teach ELA or science or social studies or math. Like, it's harder to be flexible, I think, for them, because they don't have a choice. The kids don't have they do have a choice. They could just not learn math, but unfortunately in our American society, that's how success is measured. How well do you do on the test? You didn't do well on your tests? Well, we're not going to give you money for school. Like, that's just the way it is. Here, at least. And there's that type of competition in music too, but I mean, I'm not gonna encourage them to think of music as a competition. Right, Mary? That's what. I have some. Don't get me started either. Oh no, I'm about to start. Ah! It's all about money. How much money do you have? If you have a lot, you get what you want. Okay, that's all. That's all. Don't get started. I can't get started. It's gonna get heated. Yeah, I have a lot of room to be creative. If the kids wanted to be there, if they chose to be there, I'm trying to not feel like this is an excuse. But if they have chosen to be there, then the situation would be different. I would be singing every day. I would be expecting them to follow along with me every day. But they have not. Some of them have not chosen to be there. All of them have not chosen to be there. The schedule chose for them. So. Oh, I do have my charger over here. My phone's low on battery. There we go. Yeah. Mary, I agree. I would assume that in high school they do get to choose, but the block schedule makes it really hard. Maybe I'll keep working on this today. I have some work to do, and maybe I can just go back and forth with this. Kind of hungry too. I need to eat something. We're probably cooking today. We have some other stuff to do. We have an Instant Pot, and so we found a book that's Mediterranean recipes for Instant Pot. Yum. I already made a brown rice and vegetable dish. I hope to make that again. That was really good. See if we have enough ingredients. I have a funny story. So the kids get mask breaks, and I gave one during one of my classes the first day. So then that's kind of in the schedule now. But I've been like realizing that I have to be really diligent with procedures, like walking through the hallway and lines and stuff. Because if the kids don't have the structure, then it's kind of chaotic, you know, which can be exciting. And so, like, on Friday, I had one student, like, I was waiting for everyone to be ready to go outside, so I was waiting for the line to be quiet. And then I turned to one kid and I was like, what do you think? Is this a quiet line? And they were like, no. And I was like, are we ready to go? And they were like, no. So then I had a couple kids like take over, and they were like, be quiet. We're not going to leave. We're not going to go outside until you're quiet. And then when we got outside, I was talking to the kid at the front of the line, and I was like, being the teacher's difficult, right? Because people, they're not following directions right away. And they were like, yeah, everyone's just talking all the time. And I was like, yeah. I really like to give them the opportunity to feel what it's like to try to, be responsible for 30 people at once and try to get 30 people to follow directions at the same time. I just have to laugh. I need to incorporate that a lot more into my lesson plans, having the students be the teacher. Like, have them create a rhythm, or have them lead the echo clapping. You can't do that right away, though, because they don't really quite know the situation yet, or the norms. But they'll get there. That also, if you put them in charge, then you're testing their understanding of the expectations. Yeah. It was really funny. After the mask break, I had told them that the expectation was that we line up outside and we go in when it's quiet. And it took a long time. It took a long time for them to get quiet. Because the line leader was like trying to do the echo clap thing to get their attention. And they were like, clap when I clap. Everybody clap. And then you could see the people in line just getting really, really bored and really annoyed. I guess that's how they learn, right? They just get so annoyed that they just do it because it's taking too long. when the line is not being quiet, or like when some of the class isn't ready, and I've like already done my, my getting their attention cue, and it just doesn't work, then I just decide that I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait until the expectation is met with the procedure. And at that time, I like to go up to the kids who are like waiting quietly, ready. And I'm like, you know that this isn't for you, right? These procedures aren't for you. They're for the people who can't follow them yet. And they were like, yeah, I know. Because like I was the kid that followed procedures all the time. And I used to wonder, what is going on? How do these people not know how to do this? Because I was good at following procedures, so I was like, ugh, why do we even need the procedures? I'm good at following them, but they're not for me. If you're good at following rules, the rules aren't, they're for you, but they're, I don't know. So it's been a learning week for everyone. For me, for them, for all of us. Only all of us. Only all of us. What time have we got? Ooh! Hour and 30. We're getting close. I think I might be done after this. Get some work done. Eat some food. Stitch some more on this. Forgot how fun this is. I might have to put in a length or two on my barnyard animals too, because that's so fun. So maybe expect more German singing here. I'm going to brush up on my German art song a little bit, I think. So maybe you'll hear some German poetry and some discussion. Where's my diction book? Oh, there it is. Cool. I do have my diction book. Expect some... Oh, I'm going to have to do like an Instagram live and Leonie like can coach me on my German. Alright. Cross stitch for the earth. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. The Joy Definitive. That's this song. Ambient. I will see you on Wednesday for Floss Tube. And this is inspiring me to do another ASMR. Because it sounds good. Have a great week. Have a good Labor Day if you have Labor Day off. If you don't, have a good day of work on Monday, tomorrow. Yeah. See you soon. Goodbye, y'all.